Now, did you all work out the problem which I gave you yesterday? Two problems I've given related to void. Did you work out that? Yes. Okay, let's see what is the answer. Check your answer also, okay? So I had given you these two problems. First one was atoms of an element B forms HCP lattice and those of element A occupy 2/3 of the tetrahedral void. Okay. And they are asking you what is the formula of the compound formed by these elements A and B. So that means you need to calculate how many atoms of A and are there and how many atoms of B are present. Okay. So now starting with the problem, if you remember, I have told you, you will find out this particular lattice. Okay. These atoms are occupying in which lattice? That is your first job to find out. So you can see here the B atoms are there. No, these B atoms are forming the HCP lattice. Okay, they are forming the HCP lattice. So that value you are going to take as N. Okay, so here let the number of atoms of B involved in HCP, that is what you are going to consider as N. Okay, after that they are saying 2/3 of the tetrahedral void is occupied by A. And you know, if there are N atoms, how much is the tetrahedral void? The number of tetrahedral void is 2n. Okay, number of tetrahedral void is 2n, but now here they are saying 2/3 of it is occupied. So that means not fully 2n is occupied, only 2/3 of 2n has been occupied. Okay, so what they have given you is that only 2/3 of the tetrahedral voids are being occupied by A atom. Okay, so wherever you have that void, in that void you are having A atoms, and that full lattice is made up of B. Okay, so what you are going to write is only 2/3 of 2n. So therefore the number of atoms of A will be 2/3 of 2n. Okay, 2/3 of 2n. Okay, it's not 100% of 2n, only 2/3 has been occupied. So now the value will be 4n by 3, 2 into 2. Okay, 4n by 3. Now you have to take the ratio. Okay, so ratio of A and B will be A value is 4n by 3 and B value is how much? N. Okay, so 4n by 3 and then n. Okay, 4n by 3 is to n. Now this are in fraction, correct? Yeah, now this fraction you have to convert into a whole number. So how will you convert this into a whole number? Multiply this by 3 throughout. Okay, so you're going to multiply throughout this by 3. So then here 3 and 3 will get cancelled. You will get 4 for A value you will get as 4. This n and n also will get cancelled. Okay, 4. And this side you will get 3. So 4 is to 3 will be the answer. That means the number of atoms for A will be 4 and number of atoms for B will be 3. Okay, so A4, B3. Very good. I have got few answer. So it is correct. Okay, whatever you have got is the correct one. So A4, B3. So the next question was, in a compound, nitrogen atom N makes the cubic closed packed lattice and the metal M occupies 1/3 of the tetrahedral void present. So what is the formula of the compound which is formed by M and N? So this at least everyone can answer. The way I have done the third one, similarly you have to work out this fourth one also. Okay, so what are they saying? In a compound, nitrogen atom is making this CCP lattice. So that you are going to take as N itself, correct? No? You can make use of any other variable also. You can take them as X also. Okay. If you feel that you're getting confused, then it's an unknown variable. So you can take them as X as well. Okay. So here, let the number of atoms of N, which is occupying the CCP lattice, that we are going to consider as N itself. Okay. Next one, they are saying 1/3 of tetrahedral void is occupied. But we know the number of tetrahedral void which will be occupied by any lattice is 2n. Okay. So that value is actually 2n, but then here only 1/3 is occupied. So what you are going to write is only 1/3 of 2n. Okay. So that will be 1 by 3 into 2n. Okay. So 1 by 3 into 2n will be 2n by 3. this will be the value, you will get 2n by 3. Okay, this will be the tetrahedral void which will be occupied by the M atom. Okay, then you take the ratio. Okay, so M and N ratio will be how much? M value is 2n by 3. M value is 2n by 3 and N value is N itself. Okay, so it is in fraction now. It is like this, 2n by 3 is to N. Okay, so N anyways will get cancelled. Now convert this into a number. So you will multiply this by 3 and this also into 3. Okay, so this 3 and 3 will cancel. So 2 is to 3 will be the number, correct? Yes. So 2 is to 3, that means we have M 2 atoms and N is 3 atoms. Okay, so it is M2, N3. Yes, very good. Okay, I've got few answers, few have worked out. Okay, so our today's topic, what you are going to learn, okay, very important topic from your exam point of view. This is very important. Okay, packing efficiency you are going to learn, and from this topic, one question you are going to get definitely. Okay, so you have actually 3 different kinds of packing efficiencies to study, but out of these, one question is a definite question. Okay, from this particular topic, so it's very important. Listen properly. Now, coming to what is packing efficiency. Efficiency means what? Efficiency means you try to avoid wasting the things. Okay. You try to occupy it to the fullest. That is what we call as efficiency. Efficiency word is even used in machines also. Okay. So when they talk about machine, they ask how much efficient is that particular machine. Means how much work it can do without wasting much amount of energy. Okay. So most of the work which is done. So now when you are talking about packing, what we are going to talk here is how much amount of space is occupied. Okay, the most amount of space which is getting occupied and less amount of wastage is there. Okay, so that is what is called as packing efficiency, total space which will be occupied out of that given volume. Okay, so you can see in your daily life packing efficiency. Okay, you will be able to see in this vegetable market if you go, no, there you will see how nicely they pack the things. Okay, these vegetables and fruits, they will pack one above the other so that they occupy the most of the volume and less amount of wastage is done. Okay, you will see this in the that vegetable market. Even you will see in the bakery, if you have observed properly, how nicely they stack these sweets one above the other, and they try to avoid less amount of wastage. Okay, they try to avoid less of volume getting wasted, and most of the things they will try to fill it up. Okay, so that is packing efficiency. So now here we are going to talk in terms of atom, because we have atoms here which we are going to pack. Okay, so you have seen the simple cubic lattice, body centered lattice and face centered lattice. So here we are going to pack the spheres. So when spheres are placed in any kind of arrangement, okay, you know that they cannot occupy the whole space. They are having this kind of a shape. No, they are having a spherical shape. So you can't expect them to occupy 100%. Okay, so 100% of a space will not be occupied. Some of the space which is there, that will go as a waste. Okay, so that will be going as a void. Okay, voids will be created. No, you can see here empty spaces are created, voids are created. Okay, so this will go out as a void, this space which is there. Okay, so what we need to calculate here is how much of total space which is occupied by these particles. Okay, total percentage of this space which is occupied out of 100%. Okay, that is what is packing efficiency when we are talking about atoms. Okay, so packing efficiency is nothing but the percentage of total space filled by the particles. So as you can see here, we are going to calculate this out of 100%. Okay, out of 100%, how much amount of space is filled by the particles and how much of space is getting wasted. Okay, so that is what is packing efficiency. We are going to calculate for every kind of a unit cell. Okay, now before going to the whole calculation of that, first let us know how are we going to calculate this packing efficiency. I have taken a simple example. Now imagine if I have a box over here which is filled by these balls you can see here. Okay, how are we going to calculate how much amount of space is filled by these balls over here? Okay, how do we exactly calculate how much is the volume filled by these balls in this particular box which has been placed? Okay, so how do we calculate that packing efficiency? So how are you going to calculate that? How much amount of volume has been filled by them? Okay, to know that, you should know what is the volume of this ball over here. Okay, so first what you need to know is volume of this ball. I'm considering this ball. Why? Because your atoms are also like a spear shape. Okay, so that's the reason I'm considering this. Then we can relate to that. So how are we going to calculate how much amount of space is filled by these balls which is kept in the box? Yeah, first you need to calculate volume of the individual one. Very good, correct. So that means I need to calculate volume of this ball first, correct? No? So that will be volume of the balls into how many balls are present. That is also important. Number of balls. Yeah, very good. So number of balls divided by, that will give you the volume, correct? No, that will give you the volume of balls. Divided by, you need to know the volume of the whole box, correct? No, so that means divided by, I need to know what is the volume of the box. Okay, that we need to calculate into, since we are calculating it out of 100, you will multiply by 100. Understood now how to calculate? If something is filled inside the box, you need to know what are the volume of those things. Okay, you should know the volume of that, and then you count how many of them are present, multiply with the number which is present, divide by, take the volume of that whole box. Okay, so when you divide both of this, you will be able to understand how much amount of volume is occupied and how much amount is wasted out of 100. Okay, so that's the reason why we are multiplying out of 100. If you don't want to calculate out of 100, then you will get out of 1. Okay, when you just divide them, both the values, if you are going to divide, you will get it out of 1. Okay, then if you are calculating out of 1, then that is called as packing fraction. Okay, if you are calculating out of 1, then it will be called as, because you get in fraction, the numbers you will be getting in fraction. But if you are doing it out of 100, you will be calling it as packing efficiency. Okay, packing percentage. Clear? Yes, percentage of total space filled by the sphere, that is packing efficiency. Okay, so now we will apply the same thing for our unit cell. Okay, now this you understood. Okay, it's a like basic maths you might have learned in your high school also. Okay, so now how are we going to calculate this same thing, packing efficiency, for the unit cell? So first what you need to know now, we have different kind of unit cell. You need to know how many number of atoms are present in the unit cell. Then you will be dividing it by the volume of that unit cell. Okay, same thing here for body center also. First you will be you will have to calculate how much is the number of atoms which are present in this unit cell. Okay, number of atoms and its volume, then divide by the volume of that unit cell. Okay, so that means I can write packing efficiency will be equal to volume occupied by that atoms. Okay, so when I tell you volume occupied by that atoms, you are actually calculating the volume of one atom into the number of atom. Okay, divided by the total volume of that particular unit cell. Okay, because in that unit cell you are having those number of atoms, into you will be multiplying by 100. Okay, so that gives you packing efficiency. Yeah, so I told you we are going to calculate this packing efficiency for 3 different unit cell. One is for simple, one is for face centered, and the other one is body centered. Okay, very important topic. Out of these 3, one question is a definite one for your board exam. Okay, or if you are going to have any other exam also, you will see this one question which will be asked. Okay, so listen properly. So first I will explain you in a brief way, then I will go for the derivation part, okay? How you are supposed to write for your exam. First, let us understand briefly how to calculate. So you need to calculate 2 things, okay, for packing efficiency. What is that? One is the volume occupied by the atom, okay? This first thing you need to calculate. Second one, you need to calculate the total volume of the unit cell, okay? These are the 2 things which we need to calculate and then divide, you will get the answer, okay? So let's go for first one, packing efficiency in simple cubic unit cell. Okay, so if you're going to calculate this for simple cubic unit cell, you know how simple cubic is, okay, which is also called as primitive. So we are taking cubic unit cell, where cube means what? Cube is a three-dimensional unit, correct? No, three-dimensional unit where all the sides are equal, correct? So here all the sides which we have, no, that is this length, breadth and height. Okay, these three. Okay, this length, breadth and height, all of these are going to be equal. That is what we call as a cube. Okay, cube means where all the sides are equal. So here all of these sides are going to be equal. Okay, so now packing efficiency you're going to calculate for that. So what is the formula for packing efficiency? You should know volume of the atom. Okay, first thing what you need to calculate is volume of the atom divided by, you need to calculate total volume of the unit cell. Okay, and then you have to multiply by 100. So first we will see how to calculate volume of the atom. Okay, now for a simple cubic unit cell, how many atoms are present? Now all these things, basic things you should know, okay, which we have already done, calculation we have done. How many number of atoms are present in simple cubic unit cell? Number of atoms, yeah, one, very good, correct, no? So we have only one atom which is present in simple cubic unit cell. Okay, so it is one atom. Now, one atom is present, that we know. Okay, number of atoms are one. Now, next thing what you need to know is what is the volume of this atom. See, atom is like a sphere. So you are going to take volume of the sphere. Okay, what is the volume of the sphere? Volume of the sphere is how much? This is your like high school geometry. Okay, which you need to remember. Few formulas you need to remember here. Yeah, 4 by 3 pi r cube. Correct. No, volume of the sphere. So it will be 4 by 3 pi r cube. That is the volume of the sphere. Okay. So this r value will depend on the atom. Okay. Different atoms will have different radius. So depending on that, you are going to calculate volume of the sphere. So this first part is clear. How we calculate the first part, volume of the atom. Okay, first you need to know how many atoms are present in that particular unit cell. Now since it is simple cubic unit cell, number of atom is 1. Okay, so that therefore you are going to write volume of only one sphere. So one sphere will be 1 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, so this one part we have finished. Now next thing what you need to calculate is total volume of the unit cell. Okay, so volume of the unit cell, volume of the unit cell. So it is like a cube. This unit cell which is there, it is like a cube, correct? No. So you are going to calculate the volume of the cube. Okay, this is like a cube. So yeah, so volume of the cube is all the sides are equal. This length I'll take as a, this is also a, and this is also a. So it will be a cube. Yes. Okay. So this will be a cube. But then this a value is there, no student. That a value will be depending on the radius of the sphere. Okay, that depends on the radius. So you need to substitute the a value with the radius, because depending on that the a value will change. Okay, so you have to write that relationship afterwards. Now see here in this cube. Okay, if you take this as the cube, you know in primitive one atom is exactly touching the next atom, correct? No, so this whole length is a. Okay, this whole length is a. If you are able to see properly, this whole length is a. Now how much of atom is occupying this length over here? You can see first atom, if I take, only half of that is getting occupied. Okay, and the distance from the center till here, that is circumference, this will be r. Till the circumference it is only r. Okay, again I am having next atom which is occupying, so this distance also will be r. Okay, there are two atoms which are exactly touching, okay, on the edge length. Okay, so if this is the edge length, okay, I'll draw it down. See properly, if I have, this is the edge length of the cube. Okay, this is the edge length. So I have only half of the atom occupying. From this distance to this distance, if you are going to calculate, only r is being occupied. Okay, again from this one, okay, the center of this one second atom till here, only r is being occupied. Yeah, so a value is going to be 2r. Okay, so you will get a value as 2r. So that you have to cube now. So 2r the whole cube. So that will give you 8r cube. Then you have to divide now. Understood? Briefly I have told you now. Okay, what you are supposed to do. So now you divide. After you divide, you get the packing efficiency value for simple cube. Did you follow what I said? If you want, I will repeat this once again. Okay, very important. If you have not followed, you can ask me anything which you are having a confusion, you can ask me. Okay, I'll repeat this once again. To calculate the packing efficiency, you need to calculate volume of the atom. Okay, first thing you need to do is calculate the volume of the atom. So in the simple cubic unit cell, the number of atoms which are present is 1. Okay, so number of atom is only 1 which is present. Now this atom shape is like a sphere. Okay, this atom is having a shape like a sphere. So you are going to take volume of the sphere, and volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, so it is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now since only one atom is there, so you'll be writing 1 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, so that will give you the same answer, 4 by 3 pi r cube itself. Now next thing, so this one part is over. Volume of the atom we have calculated. Now next thing you need to calculate is total volume of that unit cell. Okay, so that total volume of the unit cell, if you have to calculate in the cube, okay, this unit cell is having the shape like a cube. So that means all the sides are equal. So you will be writing a cube. Everywhere you will get a cube only. But then this a value will depend on the atoms which are present. Okay, so here if you see in the simple cubic, one atom is exactly in contact with the another atom. Okay, so if you take this length here, I'll erase and again show you. If I am taking this length of the cube, you can see there are two atoms which are occupying this length. One is over here and one is on the other side. Okay, and if you observe the distance properly, it is from the center of this atom till the circumference. So that distance you call them as radius. Okay, so half radius we are getting here, and then another atom is also giving the radius part. So that means this edge length value will be equal to r plus r, that is 2r. Okay, so r plus r is 2r. So then you cube them, you will get volume of the unit cell. Then you have to divide this and then get the answer. Okay, so I'll go for that part. This briefly I told you. Okay, now we are going to do in detail how we are going to do in the exam. Okay, so you can give the heading packing efficiency in simple cubic unit cell. Then you are going to draw the diagram correctly. Okay, draw a clear picture because diagram also will give you the points. Okay, 1 mark is there for the diagram. So it should be very neat. If you don't have the diagram, then there is no point in explaining the packing efficiency. Okay, so you draw the cube first. Draw the cube and place two atoms. Okay, two atoms are enough because you need to get the relationship between A and R. Because everywhere, you know, there are 8 atoms. Every corner there are 8 atoms. But then that is not required because to get the edge length, these two atoms will do the job. So place two atoms exactly from the center. Okay, see that the center of the sphere comes in this point at this vertex. Same thing over here also. Then label that cube. Okay, you can start from one direction. You can see here how I am doing it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G and then H. Okay, in one direction we have gone to label them. Then you take that whole distance where these atoms are occupying, okay, because that will decide your edge length. So your edge length, A value, totally depends on the radius of the sphere, okay. So half atom is getting occupied here. That whole length is A. Even the other sides also will be A itself, okay. All length, breadth, height, everything is A. Then you can place these two atoms at the side and just show that distance. A value is how much, okay. So I have placed them at this side. You can do it here itself or you can do at the side just to show that distance, okay. This distance is r, even the other distance is also r, okay. So total distance, okay, this total value of A, this total value will be r plus r, that is equal to 2r. You can even do it here also. This is r plus r, okay, this whole distance. Yes, see, next one, it's there in the other page also, you can refer in case if you have not finished. See here, that smaller one I have drawn on this side. Okay, so even in your notes you can draw on one side or let it be in the center also, no problem. Okay, so how you are going to start your derivation? You will start by saying that let the edge length, okay, this edge length, the side of the cube, that let it be equal to a. Okay, you have to mention about all the terms what you are going to use here, and then let r be the radius of the particle, that is the sphere. Okay, particle or the atom, radius of each particle or the atom. And a value we have got just now, a value is equal to 2r. After you get a value, your next thing, the next step what you are going to do is calculate the volume of that unit cell. Okay, once you get that a value, so you will write the volume of the unit cell, okay, that cubic unit cell, which is equal to a cube, and we know what is the value of a. So a is 2r, so you will write 2r the whole cube, okay, which is equal to 8r cube. Okay, so you will get volume of the cubic unit cell. After this, you need to calculate. So this part is over. No, volume of the unit cell we have finished. Next thing is what? To calculate the volume of the atom. Okay, and the volume of the sphere we know it is 4 by 3 pi r cube. And then afterwards, you will write how much is the number of atoms which are present here. So in the simple cubic unit cell, they contain only one atom. Okay, they have only one atom. Simple cubic unit cell has one atom. So you will write volume of one atom or one sphere, which is equal to 1 into 4 by 3 pi r cube itself. Okay. So we got this also, volume of atom also we got, and then we have got volume of the cubic unit cell. Okay. Now both you have to divide in the packing efficiency formula. So you will write the formula here. Packing efficiency is equal to volume of one atom divided by total volume of that unit cell. Okay, you can write here total volume of the cubic unit cell into 100. Now substitute, volume of one atom is 4 by 3 pi r cube divided by volume of the cubic unit cell is 8r cube. Now cancel whatever like terms are there, r cube and r cube I can cancel. 4 ones are 4, 2. Okay, so remaining is this, no, pi by 3 by 2 into 100. Okay, so that 3 I will bring it down. So if you bring the 3 down, you will get pi by 6 into 100. Okay, now divide that pi by 6. Pi value is how much? 3.14. So 3.14 divided by 6, you will get this much. Okay, 52.36 something you will get, which is approximately 52.4%. Okay, this will be the value. You can remember this value. If you want, you can skip this step. If you want, you can skip and directly write the value. Okay, no problem. So now from this value, what do we understand actually? If you see this value properly, 52.4. Okay, take 52 itself. Okay, roughly if I take 52 as a percentage, so what you understand from this is the percentage of total space which is occupied. Okay, the space which is occupied is 52 percentage, and the space which is occupied by the void, okay, which is occupied by the void, that is how much? Around 48 percentage. Correct, no? So that means if atom packs themselves in simple cubic unit cell, they will be wasting around 48 percentage of space, okay, which will go as a void. That 48 percentage of the space will go as void. Only 52 percentage which is there, that will be occupied by the atom.